Your news for the state of Tennessee in about 10 minutes. Tennessee in 10 starts now.
Thanks so much for joining us for Tennessee in 10. I'm Marius Payton. We want to begin with newly released data showing that hundreds of people who were arrested in Tennessee for driving under the influence were actually sober. The TBI just released new data that shows 419 sober drivers arrested for DUI in 2024 in Tennessee. THP had the most sober DUI arrests with 180 in total. 37 sober people arrested in the THP's Nashville region, 41 in Knoxville.
I want some answers. I need something else done about this. I mean, I've lost, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of heartache, a lot of friendships, a lot of, my marriage wasn't the best at the point. A lot of stuff was, happening just because of someone, oops, I made a mistake.
WSMV4's chief investigator Jeremy Finley has filed an open records request for emails pertaining to these sober drivers arrested for DUI.
I'm Jerry Askin. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro is back in prison this morning after appearing in federal court following a U.S. military operation that captured him and his wife. The Department of Justice accuses Maduro of corruption and drug trafficking. The move has sparked protests, including here in the Mid-South. Demonstrators gathered outside Congressman David Kustoff's office, calling for congressional oversight and accountability. Venezuelan Americans say the situation is emotional and far from over. Congressman Kustoff said in a statement that, quote, action in Venezuela was necessary and justified to protect the American people, end quote. Maduro appeared in a New York courtroom yesterday morning.
More law enforcement agencies in Tennessee are now teaming up with ICE. So far, more than 55 agencies in the state have signed a 287G agreement with ICE that allows local trained officers to perform some federal immigration enforcement tasks. This mostly consists of identifying undocumented immigrants with criminal charges and reporting them to the state for possible deportation. Taking a look at this map, you can see it's all lit up in green. That means at least one agency in the state has partnered with ICE in an operation like this. You can see only a few states have opted out.
The former CEO of Evolve Bank is pleading guilty to child pornography charges. The FBI arrested Bob Hartheimer at the bank headquarters in Memphis last October. Agents say they posed as a 15-year-old boy on a dating app called Grindr. They exchanged messages with Hartheimer and they agreed to meet them. Hartheimer could face 15 to 30 years in prison for attempting to produce child porn and 10 to life on coercion and enticement. Prior qualifying convictions could expose him to a life sentence. He'll be sentenced on April 3rd.
A Clarksville teacher is now on unpaid leave after he was charged with rape. Stephen Hershey faces 3 counts of statutory rape by an authority figure. He's a teacher at Northeast High School. The school district says it learned about the allegations against Hershey last May. They say they placed him on a, quote, alternative work site so he didn't have contact with students.
Hello from the WVLT Newsroom. I'm Will Puckett. Well, officials say that 2 people are now in custody after a deadly shooting in Hamblin County over the weekend. Officials saying it happened at an Airbnb on Old Poplar Road. Again, that happened Sunday in Hamblin County. 2 teens were killed, 2 others were hurt. The Hamblin County Sheriff Chad Mullins says 18-year-old Adam Perez Jr. and 19-year-old Taylon Trevathan are in custody today, facing charges that include second-degree murder. They're both being held without bond in the Hamblin County Jail. They are scheduled to be arraigned later today. We'll continue to follow this story on the shooting at an Airbnb in Hamblin County over the weekend. 2 people now charged with second-degree murder, among other charges.
All right, Stefano DiPietro joins us now with a look at that First Alert weather.
And we are tracking a First Alert weather day, Marius, for late this week. That'll be Friday later in the day. Strong thunderstorms, widespread rain. Details remain limited for now, but we do have a pretty good idea of what some of those strong storms are going to look like. Tornado and hail threats are not really a big concern for us. High wind gusts, heavier rainfall will be the main focus. It's Middle Tennessee parts of West Tennessee that are going to be the main areas of concern. As we head to the east, the severe threat is going to greatly diminish. We're dry through most of the rest of the week itself until we get to Friday. Thursday, there'll be some showers that move in very late in the day, mainly in West Tennessee, maybe an isolated shower in parts of Middle Tennessee. Here comes that frontal system, though, taking shape through the day on Friday. Widespread rain across the entire state. Everyone's dinner plans, evening commute are going to be impacted by steady rainfall, heavy rainfall in some spots, and yes, even that threat for a couple of strong thunderstorms as well. This will linger into early Saturday morning. We should gradually taper this off from west to east through the remainder of the day Saturday.
In Atoka, Tennessee, the new Safe Haven baby box was put to use for the first time this past weekend. The box is at Fire Station number 1 on Atoka McLaughlin Drive. An alarm sounded, alerting firefighters that a child was in the box. Emergency personnel made sure the baby was healthy and okay. The Safe Haven box was installed in November of 2024. It's available 24/7. More Safe Haven baby boxes are coming to the Mid-South. Collierville, Tennessee is actually testing one next week. And Bartlett, Tennessee is in the process now of raising funds to install a baby box.
Well, right now, thousands are at risk of losing in-network health insurance coverage if a rift between East Tennessee Children's Hospital and Cigna Insurance is not fixed soon. What we know right now is that a contract is set to expire on March 1st. The change could affect nearly 27,000 patients who are children. Children like Dita Tolbertson's son. He has severe ear care that is only offered at Children's Hospital in Knoxville or in Nashville. Tolbert says traveling longer to get the care her son needs isn't ideal.
That's our options, unless there's something out of state that Cigna can cover. That's what we have. That's our choices. And although Nashville's fun, that's not something that we're concerned about when we're talking about our children and their care.
Now, Vanderbilt in Nashville or Cincinnati Children's Hospital in Ohio are the only other two options that are relatively close for folks seeking children's hospital care to East Tennessee. In a statement from Cigna, they say that Children's Hospital is higher in costs than other local hospitals. They also say that the Children's Hospital is the one threatening to leave the contract currently. Meanwhile, in a statement from East Tennessee Children's Hospital, they say that after 30 years of partnership between the two, they are shocked and disappointed by Cigna's decision to end the contract. Again, we're talking nearly 27,000 children at risk of losing in-network care at East Tennessee Children's Hospital as ETCH and Cigna Healthcare battle it out over a new contract.
Well, Tennessee is among the states experiencing the highest level of flu spread in the U.S. That's according to the CDC. In the week right before the new year, Tennessee was one of 19 states experiencing very high flu activity at level 13, which is the CDC's highest level. The spread moved fast as the volunteer state was experiencing minimum flu levels near the end of November. Due to the uptick in cases, some Tennessee hospitals, including UT Medical Center in Knoxville, implemented visitor restrictions.
Well, a Pigeon Forge motel is winning a national award that's pretty impressive. Compass Hotel by Margaritaville, that opened in November of 2024, so relatively recently, was recently named Best New Hotel by USA Today's 10 Best. It beat hotels like Universal Helios Grand Hotel in Florida, French Coast Motel in Wisconsin, Hotel Claire in Ohio, and the Wild Branch Hotel in Alaska.
Well, thanks so much for watching Tennessee in 10. Enjoy your Tuesday.